Hello, hello. This is Pauline from Pauline Art Stuff. And today I've got a special episode about my hobby. What do you call it? Hobby room? Hobby desk? I don't know how to call it. Basically, I'm in the middle of my living room and I've got my desk right in the middle of my living room and there's a big closet next to it, and that is my hobby space basically, because it is not just coloring, it also includes my other hobbies. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I will have to go hands with my hands instead of on a stand, because I will show you around. So it might be a little bit wobbly and you might hear some wheelchair noises because I'm in a wheelchair. Yeah, let's do this. Let's give you a tour of my desk and my closet, my Kallax closet from IKEA. So let's start with the IKEA closet. All right, so here we are in my closet. This is the bottom of my closet, and this is what it looks like. It's pretty high, so that top layer is hard for me to reach, and I've got my gnome on top. So let's get you closer, because this part is the coloring part basically. So I'm gonna move closer. That's my wheelchair. So these are my diamond paintings that I store in here that I'm working on. And in these drawers, I got my journaling stuff. So I will show you. So let me move this out of the way. And I will show you. Like, this is just all washi tapes and basic labels. And that's it. So there's not too much in there. Then the bottom one is also all washi tapes. All fumbled around. These are the ones I probably do not like that much. Then in that bottom one, there is just a basket for shopping. That's it. This one, I will open up, has some plastic box which contains my cross stitch fabric. So I'm not going to pull it out. Then this is more bullet journaling stuff. So stickers and all kinds of things. I'm not going to take it all out. I'm just going to show you it like this. Then this is like paper that I've got for my planner as well. So let me lift that up. Then I got some notepads and even more stickers. So in that purple box, I keep all my journaling stickers. And that's it for the journaling. So let's close that down. Then in this one, I've got some supplies for card making, which I'm not going to open up. Then these are all my sketch pads. So like basically sketch, not sketchbook, but a pad basically, like you see. So these are all different types of paper. So this is the one. These three are all the same ones. They are Fabriano paper. And I used to use them for my Disney fan art and coloring. This is just a random sketchbook for my Disney storybooks. Some pastels that I haven't even opened yet. This is a marker pad, especially for alcohol markers. This is normal drawing paper for like my portraits that I used to do. This is also marker paper and another sketchbook that I haven't even used yet, but I'm using this for like swatches and such. These ones I showed you, so let's move up. So these are my Guangna markers, but I'm missing some here. So they are in the box above it. So here are the other Guangna markers that didn't fit, together with some swatches. And I also use that box if I want to pull out colors for my color by number. Then next to that, I've got another box with even more markers, paint markers, with swatches. So I'm not gonna pull them out, but basically they're in these kind of bags, and I just keep them like that, and I pull them out whenever I need it, so I can just take the whole box. Then when we move to the right, we've got my color cubes from Sarah Renee. Let me use my other hand instead. So these are the new ones. I also used to have the old ones, but I gifted them to my sister because, yeah, as you can see, this is more than enough. So above here, we have my Disney storybook stuff, which I've shown you recently, a brand new sketchbook, which is plain paper, a brand new bullet journal from Archer and Olive, a watercolor sketchbook, also a watercolor sketchbook. Then we've got a notebook, another watercolor / paint sketchbook, which I used for Inktober, as you can see, for 2021. So it's a finished one. Then this one was for my Stitchy journal, I think. Yes, it's a Bailey J sketchbook. And so is this one. This is also a Bailey J sketchbook, but this one I use for October, for Inktober challenge, which is an artist challenge. And this little black thing contains all my stickers for my diamond painting. So I can look through what I own right now if I want to start a new project. So that's all this miscellaneous stuff. Then if I move to the right, these are all my extra coloring books from Kanoka Agusa and Erie, my bullet journals from last year, more sketchbooks, which are unused at the moment, and then even more coloring books that are extra from Maria Trolla, Clara Makova, Apple, Green Ivy, that's Desert Fox, and John Sonyin, I believe. So those are all my extra books that I keep over here because I pick one book per artist at the moment, and they are at my desk over there, which we're gonna look at in a second. But first I'm gonna show you the rest of my closet, which is this side. So this side is a lot less interesting. So again, I've got two of those things which contain my cross-stitch thread, as you can see, cross-stitch thread. So I've got them all on these hangers basically, and then you have the thread underneath. It's just hanging out. You can see all the thread hanging. So they're all in DMC order, and I've got them in these boxes so they stay dust free. And there's another one in this one. So I've got two of them with my thread. Then in here I keep my card making supplies, which I've got sorted in these boxes. So this contains my sparkly thread, my like basically anything that you need to put the card together. And these are the cards themselves. So there's also some stickers, some finished ones. So I've got all like cards sorted out with their pictures in here. So these ones I can make myself, which are ready to go packages. Then this one are all my art prints that I have from several artists. So I've got some Apple, some doesn't work. This is Chris Hom, which I really like. I also have more Chris Hom, as you can see, some Bailey J, and many more. So I'm just gonna leave that because that's too complicated. That's all my prints. There are quite a lot of them. And then in this one, I've got like swatch paper, which are basically pieces that were left over after cutting, and some bits and bobs like extra. So this is like a sample for one of the photo frames I've got in my house. So I keep that one because that's the one I have. Then I've got some golden gel pens. This was for my fountain pen. There are some nibs for fountain pens as well. Charcoal pencils, the same with this one, but that's just like the rough form basically. And then this is a box with diamond painting cover paper, which you basically cover up the glue with. And then I've got this picture, but I've got more. So that's something I've won for diamond painting. So I'm not really interesting in that regard. Then these are my diamond painting supplies. So I keep my stones usually in these bead containers. And this contains also my extra stones, which don't fit in these. So whenever I run out of a color, I can grab one and I can refill it. And I've got 3 more of those. So with this one, it has stones in it, as you can see. So this one is for a Christmas project by Randall Spangler, because I love my Randall Spangler. And then we move up. I've got 3 of these carton boxes, which is my supply of square and round. No, only square these days, because I threw away all my round diamonds. These are all the square diamonds that I've got spare, which I might take one on my lap. Let's move you to my lap, and I'm going to show you on my lap. It looks like this basically. So this is how I store my diamonds, which is, yeah, it's just helping yourself out basically. It's not really fancy or anything, it just works. So let me put that back with one hand. That was difficult. And then I've got my old alcohol markers over here, my Copic Ciao, with some swatch sheets, and like that stuff over there is refilling supply. So gloves, paper towels, that kind of stuff. Then I've got a Bailey J print and a box with some cards in it, playing cards, I think. That is a folder with my paperwork, basically. So this is also for diamond painting. These are all the wax hearts that I get with kits. Some empty bags. These are empty boxes. And these are all my glitter diamonds. So everything with a glittery effect or crystal effect, stuff like that. And that's just for my stuff that I throw away from cooking. Nothing interesting to see there. So I'm gonna pull you back and we're gonna go back to the desk. All right, so now we're at my desk. So this is an overview. So I've got my art card over here with my bin and my computer. And then above it, I've got all of this. And I've got my gnomes and my original Randall Spangler on the wall. And I've got all this artwork on top and like stuff that I gotten over the years from like Disney and other stuff. So let us get closer. So I will go closer and then I will be back. Alrighty, and we're much closer. So now we're at the left side of the desk. So this is the box that is for my cat. This is her sleeping place, basically, because she doesn't like a normal cat bed. No, she prefers a carton box. So that's why that's there. Then this is my April calendar for this year that I bought straight from her with my camera stand before it, as you can see. And then this is an IKEA thing that you can place on a desk. This is all the storage for my refills. So these are all alcohol refills from Copic. Some pro markers, I think, that I don't really use. Then over here, I've got my oil pastels and my normal pastels, I believe. Yes. And then my refills. And in that drawer, I've got tools for oil pastels. And above it are my Holbein pencils in that case. Then next to that, I've got my Polychromos and Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils and some other random bits and bobs. Then below that are my Copic markers, the sketch markers that I own, with my Disney color by number, my sketchbook, which is this one, my mythographic pages, and a cutting mat with some other bits and bobs. Like I've got magnets on my lamp for like my cross stitch because I like to make needle minders. Then in the middle of my desk, I've got my computer screen, which is nice and dirty, as we can see, with my filming mat, which is a new one, as you can see, and my keyboard, because I like to game. Then I've got all my flags over here and some random erasers, a sharpener, that is for diamond painting, my keys, my tablet, my microphone, some mats, drink, lots of pencils, under which, like the back cups, these two are Ohuhu, and the front ones, the Beauty and the Beast cup and the bear, those are my whip pencils, basically. So I have Holbein in the first one with the bear and some Polychromos in the Beauty and the Beast cup. So I know which ones I'm using. Then my planner is laying here with some random cardstock that I use for backing when I'm using alcohol markers or paint. And then you can see my paint markers on the right here. These are paint markers from Toolyard. Then I've got some Ohuhu alcohol markers and also some behind there. And then above it, I've got all these books. And this is my working collection. There are even some on top because I was working on those or looking at those no matter what I was doing. Usually I put them down here on my desk when I'm working or looking at them. But today I placed them up there. So these are all the books that I'm planning to focus on during the year. And the other ones in the other shelf are my extra books, basically from like the same artist that I also have here. So these are the rest of my Copics. These are sketchbooks. That is a bullet journal with my diamond painting. Basically when I start, when I finish, that kind of stuff. And then below it, I got another bullet journal, which is, well, was for my collection, but I changed it up to my planner. And that is a sketchbook. And then my planner goes in that hole. that is still empty. And then above it, I've got all this decoration. So I've got my gnome, which is still under renovation, as you can see, because it's pretty damaged. And I've got some like decorations and art prints and my Tinkerbell, which I got from Disneyland Paris. That little fairy I got also in Paris. Then I got a Bailey J print. I went to Disney World or Disneyland in Paris as well. So behind there is a picture of me with Tiana, which I'm not going to show you because I don't want to show my face. And I got some glass art from Beauty and the Beast. So those are those two. They're really pretty. Let's see if I can get you a bit closer. They're glass art. They're wonderful. And then I've got all my page flags in that cup. And I've got some more art prints, a candle for smells, if I need it. And my David the gnome, which is my pride and joy. I've got them everywhere throughout my house. And my original Randall Spangler, which is my most favorite possession at my art desk. And that big jar in the middle is my cross-stitch threads, which are like the ends and bits and bobs. So that is basically it, people. I'm gonna show you my art card now as well. I'm gonna show you below my desk because I got some more stuff below it. As you can see, I got a easel over here, which I used for painting. But I don't use it as often anymore because I used to paint a lot more, but not anymore because I prefer colored pencils over anything. Then on the other side is my computer, which is a beast. I'm not gonna look at that, with my messy bin for paper and then my art card. So we're gonna have a look at the art card right now. So at the bottom, I got my extra Tulle Art paint markers. These are extra cheap ones, acrylic markers from whatever. Then I got my Bailey J, what do you call it? Pencil bag with even more Tulle Art paint markers. But these are some special ones. Let me show you. Like these are the twin ones. So they've got like a big nib and a small nib basically. And you can see it on the side. I wish they would make all their markers like this because they are much easier to hold. But so far this is just probably a test run for them. So I got those over here. Then I've got my cat brush. These are all the posters that I gotten. Hey BB, that's my cat Spooky. Hey Liefheid. So these are all the posters that I've gotten from my Fabiana Athanasia book. So this is my Alice in Wonderland I'm working on. And those are the Peter Pan and the Snow White one. I've got some gesso on the back. And this is just a jar with water for my water painting. Some tape, which is not interesting at all. So this is basically like random supplies that are backups. Then I've got my measurement tape. Like it is so nice to hang up like this. Then I've got my baby wipes if I need to clean my hands. Some random tapes, tape to tape stuff up. My watercolor paintbrushes, watercolor Paul Rubin, and my glittery Paul Rubin. And then these are all my notebooks that I use for like writing stuff down for my games or coloring or whatever I want to. And then in here I got some random bits and bobs, as you can see. So I got like cotton, what do you call those? Cotton things, you know what I mean. This is a refill for my acrylic paint pen for my Molotow marker in black. More glue. And these are mediums for acrylic paint, basically, as you can see. Varnish by Amsterdam and some other bits and bobs. Not interesting. My pastel fixative spray, that's satin liquid glazing stuff. My palette, which is a porcelain palette. This is to open up tubes if I can't make them open. My glasses wipes, so I can clean my glasses. So that's everything on the bottom. And then we see all of these shiny things on the side, which is really cute. That's a little frog, like a little cat in a tree. Like these are all my cover minders for diamond painting. I've gotten them over the years with kids, and some were gifts. So this one is a gift from my sister, and so is this one. And yeah, I gotten them over the years with all the diamond painting that I bought. So I just put them here, literally just for decoration, because I don't use them at all with my diamond painting. And then if I go to the top shelf of this drawer, which is like my most used supply. So I've got like over here, I got my drawing ink from Winsor & Newton. And I've got about 3, 4, 5 of them. And I also have a black one, I think. Is this it? 5 of them. So that's what I keep here. And this is like a big jar of Faber-Castell black ink for my Inktober. Nail polish that I never even use. So that should go away. Let's remove it. A jar of water for my water painting. And that gets refilled so many times that I just got it like, you know, I clean it up and I refresh it. My jar of Vaseline, which is basically this oily stuff that you put on your lips. As you can see, a big one, petroleum jelly is called. Then I've got some notes for my game. That's like the combinations for a puzzle. My cat thing for fleas and stuff. My diamond painting thing. And I got a piece of washi tape in there so that if you like shake to make them straight, your extra diamonds go on top of the washi tape and you've got more space with diamonds that you can use basically. Then I got a lot of pens, as you can see, random gel pens, some Pitt artist pens, which I like, but I don't use them for coloring. I usually use them for like scratching off things in my planner. Some golden gel pens over here, a white one, the black ones, which are the ones from Sigma, which is a red one at the moment, but it is normally a black one. But I have a lot of refills for them because I use these for my Disney books, basically. That's the one I use for my Disney books. And then I got all my brushes. So these are my oil paint brushes, but also just normal ones, like all random ones, and some basic pencils, like all the random bits and bobs. And this is a relic from the past, which I am still keeping. Then I've got my paper towel for my watercolor as well. This is my pencil case, which used to hold like all the gel pens that I used for my Disney storybook stuff. These are just Micron pens that I use for writing in my journal. This is my fountain pen that I've got from Twisby Eco. So it's like with a valve in it that you can suck it up yourself and you can refill it that way. So it doesn't have the usual stuff that people are used to. Some random pens. These are for my pencils when they get too short, which we all recognize. More Micron pens. And then we're back at the beginning. This is just a random pencil. My diamond painting pen, which I like. It's a nice pink one. So yeah, that is the one I like to use. So it's not that big, as you can see. It's pretty small. But I like it. So I got like these stainless steel, this is a multi-placer, which I got from Diamond Art Club themselves, but it's really thin. So therefore it's really nice to use. And then in the middle, I've got my feather, which I've gotten from my father, who got it from his nan, or my nan, I mean, his mother, I believe, back in the day, because they don't make this anymore. This like basically feathers glued together. That's why it looks so dirty. That's glue. So it's not dirty, but that is for wiping off dust of your pencil shading and stuff like that. So I've got more diamond painting pens over here. So these are like stuff with flowers in them. And I got also a blue one. Like I got several. This one I won, but I don't like it. It's not my color. I like my pinks. So let me move my drawer or my thing so I can show you it. So these are also just something similar to micro pen, but then from Ohuhu. Calligraphy pens and such. My scissors, my ruler. No idea what. Oh, that's for my my hair. And then some random pens, as you can see, more random pens. This is all for diamond painting. So I've got my tweezers, a pink one and a black one, like just and an angled one. And that's basically it. As you can see, these are all my brushes. So I got loads of them. And some are for oil paint, some are for acrylics, and some are for whatever. So yeah, I can just roll it around. As you can see, it's not on the break. I just roll it around like this. But I usually just keep it like straight next to my desk with my bin next to it. I think I forgot to show you my Disney folders, which are on the top shelf of my closet. Let's have a look. I'm gonna show you them. Alright, and we're back because this was the top shelf, which I didn't even show you everything. So I stopped with the Copic markers, the Chow ones. And then in the middle one, I've got these wooden boxes that I've got from the Czech Republic, I believe, with some extra palette cards from Sarah René Clark. And then above my books, which you've seen, a sketchbook, are my folders with all the Disney storybook art. So the top one you've seen, the dark pink one, but the other ones below it, as you can see, are really thick with a lot of paper inside. Those are all my Disney storybook stuff. And I've got some empty storage, basically. And that is everything, I hope, this time around. So let's go back to the desk. All right, take 2 of being back at the desk. This time I think I showed you everything that I've got. But I want to show you a little bit of a closer view of how I store my pencils, because these are my pride and joy, basically. I always loved my colored pencils, but at some point my hands were too bad with pain and tremor and shakiness that I couldn't even hold a pencil anymore. I would just drop it immediately because of it was just too difficult for my hands. So after that, I bought these kind of folders, but this one is a recent purchase because back in the day I had a different one, but this is the newest one that I bought for my Holbein pencils. So here they are. And these are my extra pencils, basically. So this is the Prismacolors that I own and the Derwent Chroma Flow pencils. So all of these are Prismacolors. And then this row is my Chroma Flow. So these are the colors that I picked out that I was missing for my wax-based collection, basically. Because I do have some of these colors in an oil-based pencil. But if I can't use my oil-based pencil, I go to the wax ones, which are my Holbein and these ones. So that's why I've got some Prismacolors of colors that I use a lot, like the warm browns I use a lot and the pinks I like to use a lot. But these are colors that I do not have in my Holbein or other sets. So I really like the Chroma Flow ones as well. So that's what this is. This is the random bits and bobs. And as you can see, I also got some luminance, 4 of them, which were from my testing phase, basically. And these are some extra Holbein. So this is how I store all of my Holbein. So these are the Holbein ones. This is the pastel ones. But as you can see, I've got some missing because I'm using them. Well, I was using them on a page. And as you can see, this is already one of my favorite colors. So I should put that on the reorder list because that one is going fast. You can see which ones I like. Like I really like my purple, my blue, my turquoise, and my pinks. And the other ones aren't going as fast. And the same with this one. The brown tones are going. Same with the black. I like to use black. And everything else is still pretty big because I haven't really colored non-pastel ones yet that much with my Holbein. So this was when I was doing my house in Kanoko Augusta's Leon's Journey. And as you can see, I also like my blues. And I like these tones, the red/purple tones. But yeah, there's some missing. So I've got my swatches on these papers. And like these ones are the ones that are in this one, basically. So all of these are on this card alone. So if I then flip to the next one, which I will do, so I can put it to the side, that's these. So they're in order of how I've got them in my folder, because I've got my folder the other way around. It should be like this is the front of the folder, so it should be like this. And then my swatches make more sense. So then you can see that it's in order, you see, of what I've got as swatches. So these ones are for those, and so on and so forth. So that's how I keep my Holbein separate with the other wax-based pencils in the back. So this is all my waxy, more wax-based pencils with my Holbein as a base and then some others to top it off. So that's what I keep in this pencil case. And then my Polychromos, let me put you back in place. Then my Polychromos pencil case is an old one that I bought years ago, which looks like this. It's like this fake leather, but it's pretty big, as you can see. And when you look at it to the side, it's got this zipper, but I never do that. And then it's not like the normal one. So this one, if you close it down, it's completely covered. But it should be the other way around, basically. It's like as if you've got an Ortner inside. As you can see, there's like this Ortner system inside. Got all my lovely stickers from Bailey J and from Chris Hong. And I've got some swatches over here in this mesh bag. So there's like storage space in the front. And then basically you got these tabs that you can take out as well, because you can open this up. And then I made these ones myself, so I know where my pencils should be, because that's easier with taking them out. So I just look at this and I pull them out. But as you can see, I have some out right now because I'm using them. So I've got swatches for these as well, which should be somewhere in here. And then I just got all of them like this. So I've got all those colors right in place. And then these are my swatches. So yes, I do have my swatches, but this is on different paper, but basically it's the same idea. And then in the back, do I have the other ones also on this one, or is this my old one? This is my old swatch sheet. So these are all my spare pencils basically. So this is where my set ends. So these are the last ones up till here. And then these ones I never use because they are crap basically. The Polychromos silver, gold and bronze, they're crap. They're scratchy, they don't work, they don't give pigment. Just forget about them, that they don't exist. So these are all the extra spare ones that I've got for colors that I use a lot. Well, you can see my warm browns and my pink purpley tones and a blue, because I love that blue. I should also have a 154, but it's probably on the next page. Yes, there's some more over here. So that is the 154 that I meant. An extra Pablo, Caran d'Ache Pablo. So these are my leftovers that I've got from my Lyra that I kept, because I gave the big ones to my sister, but she isn't really using them. So she will probably throw them out because I'm not using them either. So I might take these out as well. I don't know yet. So these are the Splendor and the Burnisher. And then this is my swatch sheet for my Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils. So these are the ones that I own. So basically I've got all the pinks, all the purples and some turquoise colors, and that's it. So those are all of these. So those are all Caran d'Ache Pablo. And then I've got some random bits and bobs over here, which are these colors, which is Cold Faber, Derwent Lightfast, Derwent Color Soft, Faber-Castell Black Edition basically. So that's all of these that I've got left, which were like my test pencils when I was testing out which brand I like. I've also bought these. So these are the other ones that I've got left of that time, but I don't really use them that much. I do use the Gold Faber, as you can see, they have been used. I also use some of the Lightfast, but not that much. But I have used the pastel tones from the black Faber-Castell pencils, but they are hard to sharpen because of their weird triangular shape. So I don't like to use them for that reason. And the Color Soft are just, how do you say it? They can be nice and soft and buttery, but they've got scratches in them, like out of nowhere. So one minute you're coloring really nicely, and then the next minute you've got a scratch in the middle of your page. Like, no thank you. So that's why I didn't want those. That's why I don't like the Color Soft, because they're not a bad pencil, but they are just not to my standards, basically. I've got more requirements. The Lightfast are too hard for me, but they do work really well on certain papers. So I'm not gonna throw them out. I'm just gonna use them up whenever I feel like they can be used. Oh, let me put that back. So these should be with what I use them for. So that is how I keep all of my pencils. So let's close this again and put this to the side. And then I've got just a little bit more to show you. So I've got like these drawers right here. And I keep like extra swatch sheets, so stuff like this I keep in there. I keep my extra nips, like these kind of things in there. My extra bits and bobs, like a watercolor, which is Burke's Parrot Pink from Holbein, which is a granulating watercolor, which is a special one. I also got some super glue, some clips, like basic bits and bobs basically that you don't really want anywhere on your desk, but you do have to keep them. I keep them in my drawer. And I also got like a mirror and like other bits and bobs that I use for myself, like a thermometer, like how do you call that thing that you measure your own temperature. I got these little clips as well because I use them all the time with my watercolor. I got a kneaded eraser, which I used to use all the time, which you always want to keep in a plastic because otherwise it dries out and it's useless basically, because you need to be able to knead it in shapes so you can take stuff away. Then I've got some pencil sharpeners. As you can see, I've got all types. These are like the best hand sharpeners. If you want a basic one, like as a hand sharpener, these stainless steel ones are the best, in my opinion. So I've got loads of them. I also got spare erasers, as you can see, lots of them. Yeah, I've got even more. Like, these are my favorite ones, but you can't even read the brand. This is the United Office brand, I see. But that's my favorite one, this one. And that's the same, I think. Yes, it feels the same. And that's a different brand. I don't like that one as much. So these are my preference, and they're the United Office one. They're like the ones that if you rub, you get these strings of dust instead of just all dust. They become strings, and that's what I like, especially with my drawings. That's the best one you can get. And then I've got like a cutting knife and some other bits and bobs in here. Some more nibs like these ones and these ones. And the nasty ones that I hate from Toolyard. Those kind of things. And some notebooks. And that's about it. So that's like miscellaneous stuff. So let me close that down as well. And then to the left of me, I got a drawer with swatches for my alcohol markers, basically. So let me pull those out as well. So I'm just gonna pull it out because it's a bit of a mess in there. There's even more in there. There's also like a lot of stickers in there. So let me show you. Like, I've got all of these stickers. Like, basically, you see all kinds and multiple of each. These are the ones that I use in my planner to mark things off. So these are my Copic sketch swatches. So as you can see, all of them. So I've got all the colors basically. So that's where I keep those out of the light. So because they do fade over time. Then I've got all these cover papers that you can put behind your sketchbook to protect it. So I've got more of those as well. See, more of them. Also the other ones. These are also like my Copic ones, but on different paper. More stickers. Let me put that to the side. More stickers. More stickers. What a mess. More stickers. And then I've got my Holbein swatches that came with the set, which I don't use, but I've got it anyway here. Then I've got some swatches from my Ohuhu alcohol markers. So this is on the sketchbook paper that I use because I use them in my sketchbook quite often. So then I use this one as a reference. And then I also got them on a white paper, also sketchbook paper. So in case I use white paper, I refer to this one. And if I use my sketchbook, which has off-white paper, I use that one. So that's why I've got several. And then I've got even more swatches. So these are my Ohuhu pencil swatches, which, yeah, they're not like, I don't love them, I don't hate them. They're not the best pencils. And these are also the same, but on my Disney Color by Number paper. I also did my Polygomos on the Disney Color by Number paper. So that's these ones, because I thought maybe I want to use pencil, but I don't like them. And then I've got even more swatch papers. So this was also on my Disney Color by Number, but these are all my Copics and the Ohuhus on the bottom and my Pro markers as well. So I could see what the colors are like on my Disney Color by Number. But that was when I still thought I want to use them in my books. And now that I know that they literally suck up the ink because the paper is not really suitable for it, I don't use them, because that is a shame to use your alcohol markers on that, because it really runs it dry. And that is just a waste of your ink basically, because the ink is not cheap. So I rather don't use my alcohol markers for that. So that is what I've got in that drawer. But that's not it. I also got some relics of the past, as you can see. These are the tins that I gotten when I was still in lower school, when I was still a kid, basically. And in here, I believe, are my... No. Did I empty them out? I thought they were my old storybook stuff. Yeah, it's gone. I already cleared it out. That is a shame. I thought I was showing you something of the past. But I used to have these like tiny piece of paper that were like that shape. And I had 2 stacks of them and some pencils next to it. Because I used to make my older Disney book, I used to make in like screen caps, like little pictures and loads of them, like a comic book. And that's how I used to make my Disney book, but not anymore. Like now it's all full pages, but that's what this used to contain, but now they're empty. So I could also use these for my work in progress pages to keep my pencils in, basically. But yeah, that's everything that's in my left drawer. So let me clean this up and I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. So that is the left drawer on my desk. And then I've got another one on the right side because it's basically the same on both sides. And I've got these Pons things. How do you call this? Hole makers. I don't know. They are a different shape. So these is for a rounded corner. It's a pretty simple one and you can empty it from there. Still some stuff in there apparently. These are holes. So this is a smaller one, that's a bigger one. So this is 1.5 centimeters, this is 1.9. I used to use them for my cross stitch. So I have a hole to put thread through. And this is a decorated corner, as you can see. So it's all card making supplies or basically that kind of stuff. And then the other stuff that I've got in that drawer are all the extra Ohuhu markers that I've got spare. Because when you buy sets from Ohuhu, some sets include the same colors. So I've got loads of these in that drawer. I think about 20 to 30 of them basically. And that's what I keep there, including some notebooks like my address book and old stuff that I never use, like photographs for like when you have like you need an ID or stuff, but it's probably already out of date. You can't use it anymore. And I think that is everything that I have on my desk. So yeah, I hoped you enjoyed it, that you saw my messy go around. And I hope to see you for my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.